Yo, yo, yo. Hey guys, Rowan here, and welcome back to the Heart of West. And I just wanted to do something quick here. I actually want to go to card screen. I'm going to move this to Mr. Paco. 3 of a kind, plus 30 luck. He's going to be kind of my luck beast. Yeah. I don't know if that's the thing. Hospital. Cassandra and her regular crew returned to the hospital. Mother Superior greeted them with a nod. Adelante. The bustling town of Adelante was full of new buildings and prosperous people. The copious construction work in town was sponsored almost single-handedly by Mr. La Fortuna. For the residents of the Western Territory, La Fortuna was the embodiment of prosperity and modernity. Though she felt awkward about making such a seemingly lowbrow request, Cassandra suggested they find a local brothel. Well, let's go to the cantina first. Cassandra was pleasantly surprised to find the cantina appeared safe and well run. Cassandra reviewed the latest headlines in search of any mentions for her misadventures. Cassandra's brushes of the law had been minor, it seemed. She found only a small note about one of the events she had been involved in. The bartender nodded to Cassandra and gestured toward the cantina's offerings. Okay. General store. Modest but adequate selection of goods. Hello? Kim? Alright. Snuff. Improved movement. Tobacco. Improves aim. Cocoa greatly improves movement. Healing elixir. Mandrake root. Mandrake powder. Noise bomb. Loud bang is virtually the only thing the enemy can focus on. Grants healing over time. Maybe gun, revolver, rifle. Maybe we should get 3 of these. I think so. Yep. I definitely think so. So, let's go ahead. Oh, why are we having such choppiness? Stell. Erg. Arg. Vitality. 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 Okay. And though she felt awkward about making such a seemingly lowbrow request, Cassandra suggests they find the local brothel. When Cassandra told Hardin... Oh, least note in luck change, minus 25. When Cassandra told Hardin they should find the bordello, his eyes lit up with an unsavory glow. She admonished him sternly, insisting this was strictly a business outing. Her head was already starting to ache. It was only a matter of time before it dulled with pain for hours or even days. They arrived at the brothel in time to witness a violent quarrel. An older, flamboyantly dressed woman beating an Indian prostitute with a billy club. Cassandra guessed the older woman was the bordello's madame. Hardin stared at the scene, frozen for a moment, agog. An instant later, Hardin rushed at the madame, landing a full-force punch to the middle of her face with a crunch. As she sprawled on the floor, dazed and screaming, Hardin rushed to the native woman, helping her up. She hugged him as she cried, covering him with kisses in a way that suggested they had more than a passing familiarity with one another. Hardin mentioned to Cassandra to get out of sight. She ducked in the nearest back street. Hardin and his native acquaintance joined Cassandra as soon as they could. She wasted no time reprimanding Hardin for attracting the attention of the entire town and doubtless the authorities. Hardin explained that he had no choice. It was his duty to defend Felicia. Apparently they had known each other for some time. Cassandra guessed Hardin was one of her regulars. Felicia apologized for the trouble, but said that without her job she had nowhere to go. Hardin suggested she could join Cassandra's posse, and as she was a good shot and good company. Oh, I bet she's good company. Cassandra knew accepting this woman in a team would attract unwanted attention, but decided to do it anyway. Cassandra was worried that Felicia would attract undue attention. No, let's allow her in. Felicia thanked Cassandra profusely and promised to be a valuable asset to the team. Okay. Felicia Lambre. The group returned to the more savory parts of town. Alright. was trying to read her thing. Felicia. A native child who was kidnapped by settlers. She was educated and named by Europeans, then sold into marriage. When her husband drank himself to death, she was saddled by his debts and could only hope to make enough money at the local brothel. Staying alive there had made her hard and unsentimental, both excellent traits in a warrior. Aha. Alright then. You shall get the Ohel de Muerte volcano pistol, and you can have the healing elixir. Alright. So, that was fun. We just got into a fight at a brothel. That's the best way to start your adventures. Pilgrimage. Cassandra and her companions came across a group of people camping out in the wild. They had numerous tents set up. Oh, I should have stopped and healed. Camping in the wild, they had numerous tents set up along with carts and horses. There were wooden crosses and ornate incense holders everywhere they looked. The man wearing priest's attire greeted them on behalf of his flock, said his name was Caelspes. He explained that he was leading these people on pilgrimage and they were currently enjoying a much-needed rest. Cassandra remarked that the beaten paths around the camp suggest they've been camping there for some time. Elspeth winced and admitted in a low voice that Cassandra was right. They weren't resting at all, actually. They were lost. His map had turned out to be inaccurate. He couldn't bring himself to dash the hopes of so many pilgrims by telling them they had to go back. Thus far, he had been able to convince everyone that they were still on the Calaca Shrine trail, while he secretly tried to figure out where it was. Now he was losing hope of ever finding it. Cassandra never heard of the Calaca Shrine. Kay Elspeth explained that the Calaca Shrine was a pre-Columbian ritual site said to contain carved figurines of human skulls. Ooh. Adorned with Christian symbols, crosses, three-cornered symbols, and fish. According to Elspeth, the existence of these symbols confirmed that Christianity was the world's sole true religion. Unfortunately, however, the map he had bought from a merchant in Adelante had proven false. Now he'd need to admit his failure and destroy the faith and resolve his flock. Unless true map were found, Cassandra finished for him. Elspeth nodded fervently. He promised to spare his supplies with Cassandra if she found a map. He had heard that the Garcia Pimentel family library might contain clues to the shrine's location. Cassandra promised to take a look if time permitted. Okay. Alright. So, for a map. Gambling Den. Hardin led Cassandra to the notorious outlaw gambling den. The venue was set up in a cliffside cave in an ancient Indian pueblo. There were no lights on the outside, but Hardin pointed out to two guards concealed against the crumbling walls, next to a narrow entrance with a thick black curtain. Inside, they found a wide repertoire of gambling tables, an assortment of colorful, dangerous-looking characters, and an ample supply of liquors. Cassandra sat within hearing range of a drunken prospector, and he just dropped on his story. Okay, that's going to use up my vision. Prospector claimed to own a map to the wreck of an old Spanish treasure ship. Hardin dismissed it as bragging, but Cassandra was interested. Cassandra probed what the man's future held. Her initial attempts were inconclusive. Cassandra felt she was already losing her lucky streak. She went on. Oh, minus 25. Cassandra saw the man suffer a violent death. It thoroughly distressed her, but she obtained no useful information. She went on. Searing pain pierced her brain. She saw the prospector lying dead in an old shipwreck, surrounded by piles of gold. As the vision faded, she managed to recognize a landmark that pinpointed 3 possible locations for the wreck. She came back to reality and nearly collapsed from exhaustion. Alright, so we definitely need to rest. Yep. Cantina. Ask for a room. Alright. So, let's leave. Upon leaving, Cassandra had an unnerving but all too familiar feeling, a powerful premonition that made her head ache for days on end. Cassandra gritted her teeth and allowed the premonition to take her. Her skull blazed with pain as the vision took shape. Cassandra saw a stagecoach loaded with expensive luggage against a gorgeous mountain backdrop. Suddenly, a vulture's cry split the air. She looked up and saw several haggard birds circling overhead. As her premonition faded, she looked around for landmarks. She was positive she could pinpoint the location of the vulture's feast. Oh, crash stagecoach. Okay, cantina. Let's rest again. Alright. Alright, let's leave. Let's go to the stagecoach. Following Cassandra's directions, the party soon arrived at the location of the stagecoach crash. The putrid smell of decay indicated the accident took place several days ago. A flock of vultures feasted on the well-heeled passengers. One of the birds looked up from its feast, fixing the company with a roomy glare before slowly flapping skyward. Caw-caw! Caw-caw! Okay. Too much? Too much. Hardin began rummaging through the pockets of the dead, whistling casually as though he were picking daisies. Cassandra, finding nothing of interest, was beginning to regret coming when she spied a thin leather suitcase sitting in the dust. Opening the case, she discovered a document written in dark blue ink on a thick paper adorned with official stamps and seals. It appeared to be the deed to a silver mine somewhere in the Rockies. Cassandra pocketed it with her companions rummaging through the rest of the spoils. Aha. Alright. Anything we can do here? Nope. Gambling den. Okay. Place is bustling. Join the dice game. Stand by the game table. Cassandra felt weight of dice in her hand. She rattled the dice and exerted her mind to predict the outcome. Cassandra found it hard to sense the outcome of dice rolls. There were so many changes for each movement of the hand, but she got something out of it. She won 155 pesos. Roll the dice, monkey boy! Lost 146 pesos. Yeah. Okay. That did not work out well. Let's get a room. Okay. Alright, let's leave. Gambling den. Alright. High stakes poker. Group of 4 men were sat at the table playing poker with professional-like silence. Cassandra had a feeling they were practicing ahead of the La Fortuna soiree. Cassandra put on a heavy accent and introduced herself as Lydia Morozo. The 4 men were Noyan Tegalazagu, a weapons manufacturer, Dr. Fabian Fay, MD here, Sylvester Alaman, solid mill oil owner, Pedro Ramirez, oil broker. Cassandra asked to join. The men said she was welcome. She had something to gamble. Cassandra joked about the pricelessness of her distinguished company, but promised to return with something of material value. High stakes poker. I can't see. Hold up. Let me try coming back. Alright. See if it fixes itself. High stakes poker. I can't see. Alright. We're having a problem there. Let's see here. Well, alright. I can't tell what Cassandra offered a substantial sum in cash to weaken their resolve. Cassandra offered a deed to the silver mine in the American Rockies. Cassandra's contribution was accepted with contented murmurs. They dealt her in. Cassandra struck up a coquettish conversation while accidentally showing off her card. Meanwhile, she keenly observed her adversaries. Cassandra lost what she had bet, but noted several tells for each of the 4 players. This knowledge could well come in handy during the big game. Alright. And let's predict. Alright. 176 pesos. Excellent. And we'll go here. Alright. Cantina. Room. Wait. There was... Okay. There was something there. I missed an option. I'm a little concerned by that. Wasn't paying attention. Alright. Let's, oh, nice. So I'm just, like, winning tons of money right now. Cantina. Oh, ask for a room. Okay. I guess that's a way to just make tons of money. Cassandra, you cheats. You dirty, dirty cheater. Derelict shipwreck. Okay. On the sharp rocks of the bay sat the decomposing wreck of a caravel. Almost entirely disintegrated, they could barely make out the name on the side of the ship. Louise LXXXVIII. No, it didn't have that many eyes. Usually you only have 2 eyes. I don't know. Cassandra doubted it would yield much. He decided to circ the wreck! As he descended in the wreck, Hardin stepped on a sea urchin and had to be helped limping onto the shore. Closer inspection of the wreckage yielded an ivory comb and some golden teeth, worth 100 pesos or so. Hardin suggested there might be more valuables at the bottom of the bay, but obtaining them would mean contending with more dangerous sea fauna. Cassandra asked Paco to dive and look for more treasures. Cassandra's companion disappeared beneath the sparkling water. After a number of reconnaissance dives, the swimmer emerged for close to a minute before erupting to the surface, holding a small, ornate chest. Inside, Cassandra found a collection of ivory pieces. They'd be worth at least 1,000 gold pesos to a collector. Alright. Lonesome Shipwreck. The ancient wreck of a Spanish galleon. Ooh, sat in the small cove and looked harmless enough. The name on the bow read Amaya Calvo. The air smelled of dried seaweed and mold. Cassandra motioned to her companions to follow her inside. Descending in the cargo hold, the team found crates filled with valuables and expensive materials. Much of the treasure had decayed with time. However, a good portion of the silver and gold objects could be salvaged with a significant amount of work. Cassandra decided they needed the money. As the salvage continued, Hardin became wary. He told Cassandra that the longer they stayed there, the better chance someone would arrive. Perhaps to lay in wait and attack them once they had retrieved all the treasure. He suggested retreating with what they had now rather than hope they could get away with everything. You guys know who you're dealing with, right? Greed is good. Let's get greedy. Hardin, chill, man. You're just getting paranoid. Let's retrieve all the treasure. Alright. The attack came at dawn. Cassandra... Ow! I got shot. The attack came at dawn. Cassandra and her companions fought valiantly, but the bandits still managed to injure some of the party. Cassandra Lee Snowden was hit in the arm. The wound bled prodigiously. Worse still, the shots could be heard for miles. Cassandra cursed at the thought the authorities might become alarmed. Despite the injury, however, the team recovered all the loot in the ship. It totaled several 100,000 pesos. Ooh. Excellent. Moldy shipwreck. On its side in the shallows, the shipwreck looked like a beached whale. While Cassandra's team headed inside, they found it filled with dead bodies of its crew and passengers. The air was heavy with the stench of the dead. Cassandra knew the dangers decomposing bodies presented. Well... She decided to search the cargo holds anyway. The cargo holds were filled with dark, scintillating rocks. Felicia became agitated, saying it was pitch blend, the nausea-inducing, vitality-draining the natives called curse rock. She ran out, shouting for the others to do the same. Hardin shouted after Felicia that she was superstitious coward. She shouted back that Hardin was an overbold fool. Cassandra silenced them both. No, Cassandra ignored them. Valuables! Searching the dead was slow and taxing. Cassandra managed to find the captain's personal luggage, along with some ancient photographs. Cassandra found a broken watch engraved with the name Franco Morales. It might be worth 100 pesos to a collector. She had resolved to look for more, but suddenly felt faint. After a brief moment of confusion, she fell to the ground unconscious. Curse rock sickness. Cassandra awoke several hours later, nauseated and weak. Unable to travel, the company was forced to camp on the beach that day. Well, this is not going to slide. Hospital! Help me! The Mother Superior apologized for the high prices of her medical services. She explained that obtaining medical supplies in this area is quite difficult, as everything had to be imported. Cassandra! And Hardin. Alright. We're fine. Bunch of big babies. Alright, what do we got over here? Mexican Army Fort. Excellent. The team arrived at a Mexican army stronghold in the Western Territory. The terrain was challenging and progress had been slow. They were grateful for the respite. Hardin offered to buddy up with the grunts. He said he'd see what they knew and maybe win some of their money. Cassandra nodded and said she would see what she could learn from the commander. Cassandra said she'd prefer it if Hardin came with her. Well, let's see what we can learn from the commander. Commander Alberto J. Barbola Barraco greeted Cassandra gallantly and offered refreshments. He excused his humble surroundings, explaining the order was maintained in this region by private militias of wealthy industrialists such as Ricardo La Fortuna. Consequently, the Mexican military had only a minor presence in this area. Cassandra... rumbling noise and jeering voices caught the commander's attention. Cassandra asked how it was possible for someone like La Fortuna to blockade his competitor's assets. Commander told Cassandra that Mr. La Fortuna was a benefactor of the United Mexican States. Government trusts him and gave him many liberties. He explained that the blockade Cassandra referred to was only a training exercise for his merchant fleet, put on in response to the rise of piracy in the Caribbean. Rumbling noises and jeering voices caught the commander's attention. He got up from his desk and looked through the window, Cassandra joining him. Hardin was quarreling with a soldier. Commander excused himself, leaving Cassandra in the room alone. Cassandra searched the files, looking for information about her own exploits. Cassandra searched the commander's desk. Cassandra found a small key and used it to unlock the commander's drawers. Along a collection of letters, a standard-issue gun, and some ammunition, she found only one truly interesting item, an army requisition form. It would almost certainly prove useful in the future. No one would miss it here. She stole it! Cassandra could hear the commander's steps in the corridor. She hastily closed everything and leapt back into her seat. The commander walked in visibly upset. He explained Hardin got into trouble playing dice, and that he'd overlook it as the soldiers shouldn't have engaged in gambling in the first place. Still, he said, Cassandra and her crew should leave immediately and not return. Cassandra curtsied. Curtsy, my lord. Gracefully and left. Hardin, bruised countenance, told the tale of the gambling adventure of the soldiers. As they left, he told her he won some money, but more importantly, he acquired a pair of loaded dice. In Cassandra's skilled hands, any dice game would now be less of a gamble. Ooh. Let's go to gambling then. Let's try the loaded dice quick. Dice game. She replaced the dice with the gimmick pair. Cassandra gave a discreet nod to Hardin. Whoa, $465! Cassandra gave a discreet nod to Hardin, who loudly attracted the attention of a player sitting at another table. All the players' heads were turned, and with a swift movement, Cassandra replaced the dice in her hand with the loaded pair. She easily won, earning 465 pesos. Okay. Loaded dice! Aided by her deception, she won 266. Loaded dice! For infinite money! Okay, then. So... yeah. Cool, then. We can just sit here and get all the money ever. Yes. Yes! More money! Is there any reason... oh, Cassandra won again, earning 350 pesos, but she noticed one of the other players seemed upset. He wouldn't stop glaring at her and grumbling. Cassandra won again, but as she reached to pull out in her chips, another player grabbed her hand, accusing Cassandra of cheating. Although she denied it, the casino had no proof. The guards escorted her from the premises and told her to never return again.
Cassandra had the necessary 25,000 pesos. She was ready to conquer La Fortuna's grand tournament.
Interesting. Okay. Let's go to the Hacienda Garcia Pimentel. Alright. Matron Pulquera Almera Garcia Pimentel was one of the last vulnerable Garcia Pimentel clans, which had flourished in the New World for hundreds of years. Now the family was a shadow of its former glory, but the Garcia Pimentel Library remained one of the greatest and most complete collection of works detailing the New World and the rise of Mexico! Meme Garcia Pimentel jovially greeted Lydia as Cassandra had introduced herself, and guessed she was here to see the fabled library. Cassandra nodded, hoping quietly she could find the location of Calaca Shrine amid the books. Matron nodded and led them inside. There they were joined by a scrawny figure in clothes that had once been very fine, but were clearly showing their wear. Matron Garcia Pimentel said this was her son, Porfirio, and that he would be their guide to the library. Cassandra curtsied, taking a closer look at the young man. On top of a hunched, scrawny body sat a large head with a bulging lump in the middle of his forehead. His skin was mottled and unnatural looking. He inclined his head slightly at all times. The hunchback. She suppressed a shiver. Grody. As they walked into the library, Porfirio told Cassandra about various landmarks in the area, spouting an endless stream of historical facts, interrupted only by his slight stutter. Although at first he seemed consumed by his study of history, Cassandra soon realized his trembling hands, darting eyes, and blush meant something completely different. He was attempting to court her! In another context, it might have been endearing, but she was unsettled by the cold lump she felt in her stomach. Porfirio broke her reflections, asking whether there was anything in particular she would like to hear about. She asked specifically about the famous yet mysterious Calaca Shrine. According to Porfirio, the Calaca Shrine was the crown jewel of the area's historical attractions. Believed to have been built long before the first Europeans set foot in the New World, it contained several painted skull sculptures called Calacas that inexplicably bore ancient Christian symbols, fishes, crosses, and various three-cornered ornaments. The shrine was considered by many as the ultimate confirmation that Christianity was the world's one true religion. There had been a minor military struggle over who controlled it, with the winner doing their utmost to camouflage its position. When they met their downfall, however, its precise location was lost to history. At his last sentence, Porfirio's deformed lips twisted into what Cassandra interpreted as an approximation of a smile. She guessed aloud that he knew so much. She was sure he must know the location. Location, please. The young man looked away shyly. When Cassandra pressed, he nodded his deformed hand in confirmation. He said he would tell Cassandra the location in exchange for a kiss. Uh-huh. Fighting her revulsion, she brought herself to lay a gentle kiss where a person's cheek would be. Caressing his cheek and fluttering her eyelashes, she promised she would do it, as long as he told her first. Clearly not used to being treated this way, Porfirio blinked a couple of times, then went to his desk and produced a detailed map of the area from one of its drawers. He then pointed out the exact location of the shrine to Cassandra and copied the major landmarks on a piece of paper, which he gave to her. He closed his eyes and presented his lips for a kiss. She pulled out a derringer and pointed it in his face instead. The young man's gaze turned from stupefaction to anger and spite. Said Cassandra had worn out her welcome and motioned to the hall, where her companions were waiting. They walk out, Cassandra keeping her gun trained on his back. Nice! Ha ha! Cassandra's plan to leave the Garcia Pimentel residence hastily was confounded when she reached the foyer. Hardin lay unconscious on a chaise lounge, apparently inebriated on a great deal of brandy. Lady Garcia Pimentel opened her mouth to say something, closed again when her eyes met her son's. Cassandra told her companions to carry Hardin's out. They left immediately. Porfirio shouted they were forbidden to leave and pulled a gun from a drawer. Before he could train it on Cassandra, he and his mother were shot dead. Cassandra looked up to see smoke winding upward from Paco's guns. They quickly left the scene of the carnage, knowing the authorities would hear about this and investigate. Ooh. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Let's find out headlines. Papers began to take notice of Cassandra's exploits. Worse still, local police forces and militias had some of her identifying details. She wasn't careful, her talents could backfire. We're fine. Alright. Well, folks, I'm actually going to wrap up the episode here. We're causing quite a stir, making a name for ourselves, and we're probably going to get arrested. So thank you guys very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye!